Hey guys, welcome back to Pine Hollow Auto Diagnostics. Today we're working on something Euro. It's a 2008 BMW X5. And you know what that means. It has a lot of trouble codes. Yesterday it kind of kicked my butt. I did the front struts on it. The first one took about 3 times longer than the second one, but you know, we got through it. And now the customer requested that I look at the adaptive headlights system. He's been having this message display on the, on the screen that the adaptive headlights aren't working. And when you turn the lights on, you can see the left one kind of does its thing, and the right one is completely dead. The stepper motors do not move. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. We're going to see if we can pull some trouble codes out of it, and hopefully track down this problem. Now, just for kicks, I did a full auto scan on the launch, and I printed out a list of trouble codes, and let me show you what that looks like. So let's see here. Starting from 1, we have a whole bunch of codes in the ECM, VTG, I'm not exactly sure what that stands for, ABS, FZD, so that's interior lights, kind of like a body control module, instrument cluster, something to do with the, I guess the network. Let's see, most, that's the, I don't remember all these acronyms. Then we go to ultrasonic sensors, that's probably what the parking control, FRM, it stands for footwell module, and that controls all your lighting. So right there, codes 40 and 41, those are the ones we're going after. Oh, nope, that's the rear fog light. So dipped beam, right faulty, and communication with stepper controller, right side disrupted. And then we have a few more codes here. An even 50. I know some of these are history codes, but I was pretty impressed. I probably used up half of the printer roll. So let's jump in this thing and see what the headlights do. So here's what the auto scan looks like. The acronyms are described here. So car access system 1 fault, engine control module 5 faults, gearbox control, that's VTG, 5 faults, ABS 10 faults, electrical parking brake, got a couple faults there. Page 2, FZD is function center roof, instrument cluster, this thing, the CDGW is control display gateway. Page 3, finally we get to our FRM is the footwell module, so 9 faults in there. Let's open that up. Let's see, reversing camera, air conditioning. Okay. Read fault code. So we do have some history codes, daytime running light, fog light, direction indicator, etc. So right now the current faults are dipped beam right faulty and communication with step motor controller on the right disrupted. And that's it. So let's turn the headlights on. Let's see here. I think I'll need the key for that. Then we'll see how the headlights adapt, how they move, and see if the right one is indeed not working. Now the history behind this, I've seen this car before, you know, within the last year, and this headlight never worked. And then the car was in a minor front end collision and hit a deer or something, and that right headlight was actually replaced. So it's a new, well, not new. He got it used from eBay, because a new headlight for this thing would be like probably $1,000 or $2,000. So you put it in, plugged it in, and it still doesn't work. I mean, the headlight works, but it just doesn't, you know, do its adaptive positioning. So, you know, let's get the key and see if we can figure this out. So it's kind of a fancy key with a push button start. So let's see now. Do we need to push the button here? Okay, we got our xenon lights up and running here. Okay, so you saw the left one. You turn them off, turn them on. The left one kind of moves and adjusts. The right one does not. Let's see, you start it. I'm just trying to see if turning the steering wheel turns the headlights, but it does not. Okay, there he goes. Adaptive headlamps, fault, and some other ones, but
I
I don't know how to turn this off. Service overdue. Fasten safety belts. Right two-stage brake lamp. Adaptive headlamps. So those are the four the four warnings here. Okay, so we know the right one does not work. Let's go pull up some wiring diagrams and see what this thing needs to work. I mean, right now it doesn't even have communication. If you try to go in with the scan tool, it just locks up, so I don't even want to try that. Let's just go to the wiring diagram, see what this module needs to get online, and go from there. Alright, well, I have to go to AllData and actually request the right diagram for this vehicle. But here, so we have our footwell module, okay, and then here is the right headlight, and this is just the actual stepper motor controller, the SMC. So we have three wires, it looks like. That brown with a, what is SW? Brown with a white, right there, it tells you. Brown with a black is a ground. Now there's a common wire, green with a black. That I assume is our power coming from the footwell module. And then the left and the right have COM wires. This white with a brown and white with a red. So these three wires we need to check. Power, ground, and COM. And they're on pins 9, 10, and 11 right at the headlight, this X13421 connector. So let's go there and see if we can find these wires. Alright, so I got the the fender liner torn out. Let's see if we can find our connector for this headlight. Here it is. There's the massive headlight assembly, and here is our connector. So pins 9, 10, and 11. Let's see, there's our brown and black. There's our white and brown, and oh, look what we have here. You see that? I see some copper strands showing on this green and black wire. That's definitely damaged. I don't see any corrosion. It's just that wire, I don't know if it's still continuous or not. I haven't touched it yet, but it's definitely a problem, and it does have to do with one of the three module wires. So maybe let's unplug this guy. If I can figure out how to do that. Okay. So the connector looks okay. The pins are all straight. But right there, maybe I should just pull on it and see if that wire comes apart. So before I pull on that wire, actually I want to get a test light and check these three pins, power, ground, and COM wire with a scope maybe. So I'm going to connect the test light across the power and ground and see if it lights up when we turn the key on. I don't know, guys. The test lamp is lit across those two pins, even though that wire looks damaged. I don't know if someone was trying to probe it there. Oh man, that copper. It's still continuous. So someone's already been here. So that's not our main issue, it looks like. Damn, I thought this was going to be easy. Okay. No, the copper strands are still good. It's someone just manhandled this thing and pierced it. So, let's check the COM wire with a scope. Alright, we got the Pico hooked up. Our test light is still lit. So I'm just back probing those two pins. And let's see if we have 12 volts on our screen. And sure enough, we're at 12 volts. So now let's probe the other channel and see if we have any communication signal on pin number, what was it, number 10. So I'm going to move the signal pin 1 over to here. Okay. And be careful, we can't have the test light connected, as they'll pull the communication signal to ground. We don't want that, so let me swap that around. Alright, so now we just have channel 1 connected to the communication pin, and the ground is on the ground. Let's see if we have any activity. So let's see. So we have no activity on that COM wire. Maybe if we turn the headlight. We have nothing on there. So let's actually zoom in. So we'll drop our time base down 10 milliseconds. We saw something on there. Let's drop our voltage way down. See if we can see anything at all. There's some kind of pattern on there. Might be noise. The headlight's on. Definitely nothing that looks like a communication pattern. That just might be noise from the xenon headlamp on the other side. Yeah, I don't like that. So at this point it looks like our communication wire is not active, so we have to go to this footwell module. I don't know where that is. We'll look that up and find that right wire on there and see if we have any signal, and hopefully it's just a broken wire. Okay, let's find this footwell module. It is module number A4011. So going to all data, This is in the locations A4011. A4011 footwell module, okay. Sweet. We actually have a picture. So right there to the left kick panel looks like that's our guy. And the connector we're looking for is X14260. X14260, that connector right there. So we should be able to get to this. Alright, here's the footwell module. Sure enough, it says FRM on it. So we're in good shape. Now we just need to get to that back connector. That might be a little pain in the ass. I gotta take this pedal off and or pop this module out. One of the two. These things are packed in here. Well, we're getting somewhere. So I got this connector taken apart, the one that we need, and I located the white and brown COM wire right here. That's pin 24, like we saw on our diagram. That's that guy right there. And pin 25 right next to it should be the one for the left headlight. So I'm going to hook up 2 more channels and see what those waveforms look like. And hopefully we can confirm that the footwell module is good and just find a broken wire going to the right side. So let's hook up those channels. Alright, here we go. 3 channels hooked up. Our blue is still at the right headlight on that COM wire. Second channel is red, and that is on that same white and brown wire at the footwell module. So right here, this white and brown. And third channel, the green trace, will be our white and red wire, also at the footwell module. So initially here, you can see the blue trace is stuck at 0 volts. The red and the green trace are at battery voltage, around 12 volts. Okay? So that's already a sign that the red and the blue trace should be the same if that's the same wire. Now let's turn the key on and see if we can notice any communication signals on here. So the key's in. Let's push the start button. Oh, here we go. Red and green trace definitely have something there, and the blue trace is stuck at 0. So that is confirmed we have a broken wire between this footwell module and the headlight. So let's pause that. Maybe we can even zoom in here. Oh, I can just zoom in on the touch screen. And there we go. We have nice square waves from 0 to 12 volts. So that is what the COM signal should look like at the right headlight. So now all we have to do is find the broken wire. And that might be harder to do than just visual inspection, but we can start with a visual inspection somewhere, or use our wireless tracker to find that open circuit. So let's see where this goes. Alright, so here's where we stand. We definitely have a broken wire between the right headlight, the communication wire, and that footwell module. Now I just called the customer. He said he doesn't want to go too deep into this. I told him what the problem is, but finding that broken wire, that could take a lot of time, considering this thing is full of wires, and the harnesses, I don't have good information where the harnesses are. Basically have to take the whole car apart. So we're gonna leave it at that. One more thing he wanted me to look at is so the story was he went through a car wash and his sunroof was tilted up. He didn't notice that, and water got inside and things started happening. He said his auxiliary input, for the audio, that stopped working. The USB port stopped working. The phone, SOS system, that stopped working. So we're going to go to this audio control module, see if we can talk to it, and then see if it has any faults, and hopefully, you know, again, spend an hour on this, hopefully give them some answer. So that's where we are. I guess it'll be a little part 2 here. Alright, just as a proof of concept, I attached that lead that's on the wire at the FRM to the headlight through, you know, my scope leads. So it's kind of like a bypass test. So let's try it out. Turn that on. So the bright one still does not move. Let's see what the scanner says. So we're going to clear the fault memory. Yes. We're going to try to recode the right lights module. See what it does. This is with the bypass wire still hooked up. Okay, here's what we got. Any problem, contact yewang@sealaunch.com. Thank you. Code index check error. Okay. That's it? That's all we can do? Let's see what's in the FRM. I want to compare this to, oh, see, it gives me a recoding. No. Let's see here. Let's try the left lights module. So that's, it instantly reads it. Okay. And then it gives me an option to recode. I don't want to do that. But for the right one, it gives me a, you know, an error, which is weird. It just waits forever and then gives an error. So I don't know what's going on here. Well, even with the bypass test, we have no comm to that right stepper motor controller. So that used headlight from eBay, it might be shiny and clean, but we have two problems here. Broken wire, for sure, that's confirmed. And with the bypass test, we still have the same problem. We can't get into the coding menu, can't do anything, it's still not talking to that headlight. So the only way to fix this is, you know, get a brand new headlight from the dealer, whatever, and then fix that wire and recode it. So obviously for this car, that's not going to happen. So that's the end of this video. Thanks a lot for watching. See you guys next time. Alright guys, well, I found the problem with the audio system, the USB not working. There's a module back here. It's called the MOST module. Media Oriented Systems Transport. It's actually has fiber optic cables. I mean, come on, 2008? That's ridiculous. It's kind of fancy, but geez. Anyways, on this, I already put it back together. I kind of forgot to take a video shot, but I got a picture of what the connector looks like on the back of that module. Right there you see green crusties, like hardcore, and the actual wire, the power pin, you see right in the middle of that green, is actually broken off and stuck inside the connector. So that is where our problem lies. I think the water got in through the sunroof. You can see water damage right here. Went down this pillar, dripped right onto our wiring harness, migrated into the connector, and caused that carnage. So it needs a new module, a new connector, or repinned, and that's it. That's my diagnosis. It took what, an hour and a half maybe. I went and checked fuses, and just to check fuses you need to find the fuse boxes, and then all data was actually pretty decent on this one. There are 2 fuse boxes, one in the back, one in the front. In the front you have to take the dash apart and it swings down. So ridiculous stuff. But anyways, at least we found the problem here. I'm confident in that problem. And otherwise, with the headlight, that's still kind of up in the air. But I've honestly had enough of this car, so we're gonna move on to something a little more fun. See you guys next time.